Think about video games as motivation. Number one, once you tell a student they're going to be playing a video game, you have them buying into the lesson before it's even begun. Now, if that's curricularly grounded, that's even all the more better because not only do you have their engagement, you're going to get them to start thinking creatively about solutions to the problems in the game and have them engage with that curricular content and learn the lesson. Which brings me to another point. A lot of folks like to use video games like Prodigy or Minecraft as sort of like a station. Have it in the corner of the classroom. Students are done all their work. Go play that video game. That's not the best way to use a video game, in my opinion, because you're not sure if the students are engaging in the video game appropriately, if they're doing what your goal or your aim is. I personally like to create the video game as the centerpiece of a lesson. We all play it together. I have the opportunity to observe, walk around, and make sure students are engaged appropriately, which is an important thing to consider because playing video games in the classroom is different than playing it inside your basement or your bedroom. Think about the language you're using, situational language, right? Words that might be appropriate at home when you're playing with friends aren't appropriate in school. So the first time you use any video game, make sure to build out like 10 minutes for them just to play for fun, just to get all of that out of their system. And then finally, this is the lesson. This is what I want you to do with that game. Go ahead, go and do it. After you've loaded on all that knowledge that they need to succeed in whatever task you have them engaging with in that video game. They're gonna be motivated to solve it. They're gonna be having fun. They're gonna be learning from each other. I think a great misconception, especially in the older generation like myself, and I'm hoping it's been wiped to a lesser degree in the younger generation, is my generation used to think video games are not a very social activity. It's children playing by themselves, doing their own thing in a virtual world. I would invite you to play a game in the classroom and just listen to your students, listen to the conversations they're having, listen to how they learn from each other. How did you do that? Can you show me how you did that? Why did you do that? Why don't you do it like this? Think about your students that might not be very social. I personally wasn't very engaged in physical education when I was younger. This lesson in a video game would have been fantastic for me when I was a student. It would have helped me engage with my peers. It would have empowered me to be a student leader in a way that I probably wasn't empowered during my time in education. So think about how video games can be used as a driver of social development. Like I said, students that might not traditionally thrive in your traditional lessons have a chance to succeed with something they're good at. I want to assure you, if you're not an expert at video games, you don't need to be to use it in your classroom. You should spend about 5 to 15 minutes familiarizing yourself with the game, learning just the basic controls, and then find the experts in your classroom. Whatever game you're using, find the ones that are good at it, ask them, hey, I want to do this. Is it possible? Every classroom I've ever walked into to play Minecraft, there have been at least 2 students that know way more than me, and I've learned a lot from them. Empower those students to teach you. Have them develop those leadership and social skills. Have them teach the rest of the class. Have them support you. Have them support the class. It's a phenomenal thing to see live, and I really would invite each and every one of you to hopefully try that in your classroom at some point.